Nintendo's Wii Remote, or Wiimote, is a versatile little controller that connects wirelessly via Bluetooth to both the Wii and Wii U consoles, and I'd initially assumed they must work with Nintendo's Switch console, but I was surprised to find out that they weren't compatible at all. As soon as I realised there was no native support, I couldn't rest until I'd investigated and hopefully worked out how to get these two bits of Nintendo hardware from different generations to work together. Hi and welcome back to the shed. I'm Joe Bleeps, and in this video I'll be showing you how you can set up your Nintendo Switch so it'll work with a Wiimote, and perhaps just as importantly, I'll be telling you why you might even want to do that at all. From a logical point of view, the Wiimote should really at least connect to the Switch without any problems. The technology's clearly there as the Switch has got Bluetooth functionality, and there's always the possibility that Nintendo could add the feature at a later date as they did with the wireless headphones, but for now at least, there's no native support for the Wiimote on any of the Switch consoles. When I posted a short about using the Wiimote with the Switch, one of the first questions I got was, but why? And to be fair, this is a reasonable question. The button layout is, of course, very different. In particular, there's no X or Y button and there's no analog stick unless you're using it with the plug-in nunchuck controller, so it's useless for most Switch games. Also, if the Switch already had its own built-in controllers, why would you even bother to use an inferior controller with it? All fair points to raise. That said, I've been playing a lot of Game Boy games via the Nintendo Switch Online software recently, and the button layout of the Wiimote is just perfect for that. In fact, the D-pad and the face buttons are much more comfortable to use for me than the ones on the Switch. They remind me of the feel of the DS Lite, which isn't a bad thing at all. When held horizontally, it's surprisingly comfortable to hold, and it's great for extended periods of Tetris, for example. Add in the fact that there's already a wealth of NES titles using the same control system, and you start to see why this is an option worth considering. Yes, you can buy lots of external controllers that work with the Switch already, and you can, of course, use a Joy-Con, but wouldn't it be nice to dig out an old Wiimote? Come on, if you're watching this, you've probably got one of these anyway, and just connect it to your console. The question is, can it be done? Okay, so the short answer is yes, it's possible, but you are going to need an adapter and a little patience. The good news is there's no modification needed unless you decide to have a go at internalising the parts from the adapter inside your console, but that's an idea for another day. So, the adapter connects with the Wiimote and tricks the console into thinking there's an official Nintendo Switch Pro controller connected. You can then remap the buttons and play Game Boy and NES games to your heart's content. Once I'd worked out how to do this, it was very straightforward. However, getting to that point did involve a lot of trial and error, which is why I wanted to show you here how it's done and save you all the headaches that I faced along the way. There are a range of different wireless adapters you can get to do this, such as this Kaiko adapter, but they all have their own different quirks. So in the interest of consistency, and given it's likely the most popular adapter, this video is based on using the 8BitDo USB wireless adapter. This is a great piece of kit as it works with so many controllers and also different consoles too. Mine is the PlayStation Mini version, but the only difference from this and the Switch version is the colour of the casing. It's exactly the same hardware inside. It even works with the Steam Deck now too, so it's definitely a worthwhile investment with the newer version, currently around £15 to £20 on Amazon. So here's how it's done. You'll need a Switch console and a Wiimote, of course, an 8BitDo USB wireless adapter and a USB to USB-C interface like this one. I'll leave a link in the description for the ones I bought. It was £2.49 for two of them. Connect the 8BitDo adapter and the USB-C interface and then plug that assembly into the Switch console. I'm using the Switch Lite here, but if you're using the original or OLED Switch console, you also have the option of plugging into the dock, and there's no need for that USB-C interface. Press the sync button on the end of the USB wireless adapter and then remove the battery cover from the Wiimote and press the red sync button inside there too. The blue LEDs will flash, then it'll vibrate, leaving the player 1 LED lit up. Put the battery cover back on and go back to your Switch. You'll still be using the Switch controls at this point. As the adapter is plugged in via USB and this is a wired controller connection point, you need to go to System Settings, Controllers and Sensors, Pro Controller Wired Communications and set this to on. Then go back to the home screen, select controllers, and then search for controllers, and then hold your Wiimote horizontally and hold up on the D-pad and the minus button for about 3 seconds. Wait a moment before then pressing the minus button again, and your remote will appear on the Switch as a Pro controller. So at this point it's connected, but the control inputs will be all over the place. Remember, the A input is still the great big button near the D-pad, and the B button is the trigger underneath. Still a bit unwieldy for Tetris at higher speeds. I also initially found it tricky entering and exiting the quick pause menu or engaging the rewind game feature, as there's no L or R shoulder buttons. Luckily, the Switch enables you to remap the controls. Go back to system settings, then go to controllers and sensors, change button mapping. Essentially, we want the 1 and 2 buttons to work as B and A respectively, and I found that the A button and B trigger do a great job in place of the shoulder buttons. In the controllers and sensors menu, select the Pro controller and change X to Z R, A to Z L, B to A, and Y to B. Now that's done, you can use the Wiimote to make your way back to the menu, launch the NES or Game Boy library, and off you go. Whenever you want to access the menu, simply press A and the B trigger at the same time. And that's it. If you already have one of these USB adapters, it's definitely worth a try. And if you want to use a Wiimote with your Switch, the adapter I used here is a relatively cheap way to activate this input method. Personally, I like using this controller on these games. It's comfortable, and I also like using original Nintendo hardware in a different way. It's fun. I've already made a custom Wiimote with a similar aesthetic to the original Game Boy, and I've got another project in the works with a Wiimote that pays tribute to a classic NES controller, so keep an eye out for that one when it comes. I know there's a lot of people dismissive about the Wiimote, but I know there's a lot of people out there who really love it too, and this video is for them. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you try it out, let me know how you get on in the comments. So, thanks for watching, hello to my new viewers, and if you've been here before, welcome back. If you enjoyed this, then please leave a thumbs up or a comment. If you want to support my channel, then subscribing and signing up for notifications is going to be one of the best ways to help it grow. I've now also got a Ko-fi page linked in the description, so if you'd like to make a small donation to support the production of any upcoming videos, that would be hugely appreciated. While you're here, why not check out some of my other videos? There should be a couple of nice links appearing over here. This is Joe Bleeps signing off from the shed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.